So since MECHABELLUM just released about a week ago, and not every one of you may have seen it before, this is a $15 game that was on a 30% discount, may still be, I don't know. The guy that made this and his team, they used to play Warcraft 3 as well. And actually, I was on his stream once, and I was asking him a bit about the game, and he said he designed MECHABELLUM because he was a big fan of Warcraft 3, but his APM wasn't good enough to be very good at Warcraft 3. He said he's a very competitive person, but he couldn't be good enough for his own liking. So he decided to make a game like this that's also strategical but doesn't require as much APM. Pretty funny. Let's see, do we go Arc Lights or Marksman or Fangs? Let's go for Marksman. Don't like the new art for Specialist? Dude, I love it. New portraits. So I'll do a little bit of explaining how the game works while we're at it. Where do I put my Stormcallers? Over here. Marksman. So in a game of MECHABELLUM, you will start with making a choice of a specialist. The specialist will have some unique bonus. For instance, all of his units have 17% bonus health, and whereas I will receive 1 free unit on the second round. Every round you can deploy 2 new units, and you get more money than the round you had before. Round 1, 200 credits. Round 2, 400. Round 3, 600. Round 4, 800 supplies. Round 5, 1000, etc. So it ramps up. Every round you can place 2 to 3 units to join the ones you already have. You can place them anywhere you like, but the moment that you've placed them, then they'll be locked in there forever. And then only the new units you can choose location again. So then the fight begins. Timeout. Right, the time ran out, fight begins. He decided to asymmetrically position in an aggressive location. The units will fight each other as you watch it. And as you can see, part of my army is not fighting because I positioned symmetrically. But now we kill the tower, and now he has a debuff. You see the crackling static electricity? He's doing very little damage on my sniper, and I'm doing a lot of damage on him. So that tower debuff is a very powerful advantage you can have. So now he killed my tower, now I'm affected by it. So these Stormcallers, which would normally kill this sniper very easily, are not doing nearly as much damage. Tower debuff passed, we're doing a lot of damage again. Okay, we won. Swarm Lord with the Zerg icon. So now I get a Sabertooth, which will be very good against what he has. But first, every round, you choose a type of random bonus. You both get the 4 same choices, and you can pick the one that you think fits the molding of your board the best. So I could go for a Missile Strike, I could do Deployment Module, which allows me to move 1 unit every round, even if it had previously already been placed. Or I could go for an Advanced Shield Device. Now I'm thinking he's probably going to take the Missile Strike, and he's going to land it right here to blow up 3 of my units. So how about I go for an early bubble enhancement. I put my Sabertooth here to protect my tower, and I just make 1 bubble. The cool thing about the bubble is, if he doesn't kill it in 1 round, you'll have it again next round. So let's go for a couple of Sabertooths, which are fantastic against Tarantula. We'll put forward a Fang as well, which will be able to take the larger hits. Fangs are cheap chaff units, they're like trash cannon fodder. And then I put 1 bubble over it, like this, and it's going to protect us against any missile strike. If he doesn't pop the bubble, we'll have it again next round. Now what is a bubble? It's a 100 credit investment, 100 supply investment that absorbs 40,000 damage. But I have 40% extra, so it's more. 56,000, I guess? I don't know. He did not go for the missile strike, and he didn't get the bubble upgrade either. So he got the... and he didn't get the Overlord upgrade, so he did the deployment module, and he moved 1 of his Tarantulas to the left. Which is kind of weird, because my units here didn't have much purpose, and now they do. So that was not a very good decision by him. So the Tarantula dies easily to our Crawler and Marksman. He had another flank on the right, so he wants to be aggro from every direction. We held this and our bubble survived, which means we'll have a bubble again next round. So the more units you have alive at the end, when you win the round, the more damage his HP will take. So he was 4,400, now he's 34. So he took 1,000 damage. So we're clapping right now, yeah. So now we can upgrade the range on one of our units by 20 meters. The Sabertooth has 95 meters range, so it's a pretty nifty upgrade, about 22%. Then we could give a barrier to a large unit, which we don't have. We could give one unit less damage taken for 30 seconds in a fight. Or we could upgrade our missile device, our sentry missile, which is a 5,000 damage missile on certain units. We can make that 15,000, which is pretty cool. But I think the best choice is to go with a laser sight. Wouldn't the shield be good with your perk? Different type of shield. The barrier is not the same as advanced shield device. So we check which Sabertooth got more XP. It's the one on the right. So we give him the vision. We give him the range. He killed more things in fight. He deserves it. So I think what he's going to do is going to do like a tarantula surround everywhere. So far he's failing from this side and he has gone flank. So I think we need to put more units to defend our flanks. So I'm going to put a crawler here. And I don't want to overcommit too hard, but I'll put a crawler here. And eventually, if we win these flanks, we can click replicate on crawlers. And what that will do... Put a Sabertooth here for safety. What that will do... Let's get a tank upgrade. Let's get armor upgrade. Replicate will allow crawlers to get a kill and then to make skeletons essentially. It's kind of turning them into melee necromancers. They kill things and then they summon more of themselves. Crawler vs Tarantula. You have to understand, I thought he's going to move that away because it worked so poorly. So I assumed he's going to be removing the Tarantula. The fact that he didn't is fine with me because my Sabertooth is still here. So although the Tarantula cleared my crawlers, he actually moved it down a bit because he has the deployment module. Our defense is still ironclad, so we're all good. Is it always a good idea to upgrade range by 40 on your units? Not per se. For instance, sometimes you will upgrade range on a unit, but then you realize that in the previous rounds they've actually been functioning as a meat shield. And then by giving range on the unit, they suddenly harken back, stay back, and then maybe another more important unit will get targeted instead. So you gotta have a plan for it. So he is being offered these same picks. The first way you should look at this is see what am I vulnerable to. So I only have 2 anti-air units with these 2 marksmen right here. So he could go for Phoenixes. Then I have a whole bunch of crawlers and Sabertooths. What is good against that? Typhoon is good against crawlers. Not very good against Sabertooths, but good against crawlers. So he could do Typhoon or Phoenix. Sledgehammers loses to Sabertooths, but it's pretty good against many other things that I have. So he could go Sledgehammers as well. As for him, he also doesn't have a lot of anti-air, and he just added 1 set of Stormcaller. I could go for Phoenix myself, but I have a pretty slow-moving army for the most part. I think just getting something solid like Stangs or Sledges might be better. Could you explain the basic functions of each unit? Sure, let me pick it first and see if I have any time left at the end of the round. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Sabertooth first because I feel like it's a very safe build-up. Just kind of keep it steady, and then I'll get more marksmen. I don't want to get too many different units, and by getting more marksmen and not going into Phoenixes, I can kind of, you know, keep it solid. So since I have 5 marksmen, I'm going to get the range upgrade, and then I'll click attack upgrade as well. So the Phoenixes are a flying glass cannon that have decently good range, do a lot of damage, but they have almost no health. The Sledgehammers are kind of like an intermediate chaff unit. They have some tankiness, they have some splash damage, but they don't have a lot of single target damage. And because they come in 5, they won't get absorbed as easily by single target nukes, like marksman attacks or something. The Typhoon that was being offered is a... It looks like we might lose our tower here. The Typhoon that's being offered is a extremely fast attacker. It attacks 10 times per second, so it's very good at switching target between many low health targets. So Typhoons are fantastic at killing wasps, fangs, crawlers, and when they get high level, they can even kill mustangs, sledgehammers, phoenixes, wraiths pretty well, but they need levels for that. So we're gonna have a narrow victory here. What was the final unit being offered? Don't remember. So he went for a Vulcan with a barrier. We get shield airdrop, acid blast, subsidized arclight options. I kind of like the shield airdrop potentially. We're also ripe for a flank potentially. Let's do a flank actually. And what are we gonna flank with? We don't have a lot of fast movers. We can go for replicate potentially, but it's not super good into a Vulcan. Oh, Mustang, yeah, Mustang. He went with the Mustangs. We have to deal with the Mustang and the Vulcan as well. We could actually go Overlord here, by the way. He's very weak against it. And he's pretty low health. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna borrow and go double Overlord. I think this will be quite powerful against what he has. And then we'll do a shield airdrop here. To kind of keep our sledges alive longer against the Vulcan. And then we'll get a missile interception device that will stop the Stormcallers from popping our bubble too fast. I believe this will be a very effective technique. I think we should win the round off this, unless we get majorly surprised. Well, that certainly qualifies as a major surprise. He went for a War Factory, the biggest unit in the game. That's crazy, with efficient maintenance as well. It is a very strong anti-ground, very tanky. It has splash, decent range. It has 4 cannons, but only 2 will shoot if something doesn't encroach upon its territory. So you can see how many bullets I'm offloading into the War Factory, which is super expensive, by the way. But the left side, we won hard. The missile interceptor is stopping the Stormcaller missiles. Overlords didn't have any counters, so they're just dominating. The War Factory goes down. He may have just enough juice to kill the Sabertooths, but our marksmen and storms will clean up. And if not, our left side would have cleaned up. Is it enough to take him out outright? I don't think so. I think we're going to do about 1,300 damage on him, which is just not enough to finish him off. So he will see one more light of day. Oh, wow. We did 1,600, just shy of murder. Okay, so now we have to say, okay, how do we stop him now? He still has very little anti-air, so we could lean further into it with wraiths. Wraith degeneration beam. These marksmen are out of position to kill the overlords, which is nice for us. We could oil him up, which will slow him down, could be nice. Steel Ball's pretty good against War Factory as well. Balls with range, also good against the Vulcan, and they're pretty badly positioned to actually deal with that. So how about we get Steel Balls? We get Steel Ball range, we get temporary range, we borrow. Balls will go for the Vulcan. We still have a missile intercept device. We already borrowed and ranged. So, and then we leveled up all our Sabertooths to be a little bit more tanky. I got 2 more units I could make. So what is the best mileage I can get? Probably a crawler flank, which will actually win against the Fangs. Will his Mustangs come back for it? Maybe. So I'm trying to stay out of range so that these Mustangs are closer to sledges. Units go to the closest thing. And let's also put crawlers here. I think it just has the most value. Pulling back some of his units, I think it's going to be better than anything else I can add here. Let's see if it's going to work. So he added 3 sets of Typhoons with barriers. Some of his units are firing in the wrong direction. Overlord Steel Balls will destroy this. He has no missile intercept, so his Mustangs are dying to sledges and Stormcallers. There are the Steel Balls connecting with the Vulcan. It dies instantly. Crawlers will beat the Fangs. He has no 1-1 attack upgrades. I do. Steel Balls on the War Factory. It's dead. And that's a round win with a revolting amount of damage. He doesn't even want to see the end. He surrenders. Swarmlord down. Another win for Protoss. GG. Go next. We're against Tom. Yeah, what's up, Dundee? Mustangs shouldn't respond. Nicely done. Yeah, they were too far, right? It's a fun game. Spam Wasp with the ground. I think that would have worked too, Digiblazer. But then, not if they walk into the Mustangs too soon. Is there a way I can spectate you in game? Certainly. You certainly can. Easy Beans will tell you how. Easy Beans is very experienced. He's actually my first MECHABELLUM mod. A lot of hotties to pick from. Let's go with Giant Specialist. Was that your first MECHABELLUM game of the night? Yep. We actually have skins on both of these. Nice. Okay, our specialist is Giants. We can unlock Giants for free. He is a Farseer specialist. He will get a long-range artillery support unit with pretty good damage and splash on round 3. It's a scary unit to go up against. We can do some fort fanging. Where do we place them? 1, 2, 3, 4. Can fit a fort or a Vulcan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arclight to the side. Stormcallers snugly behind. And an Arclight in the middle as well. And kind of to the back, so that you can clean up crawlers that decide to go middle. Deploy. How did he position? All the way at the back. Everything he has is fast. Crawlers and Mustangs have 16 meter per second movement. So he puts them in the back, so that they can synchronize with the slower marksman, yet long-range marksman. So he has a roughly symmetrical position. Fun fact, I can put a Stormcaller on the line in round 2. It will shoot at this tower and kill it instantly. And then you can get one free round win like that. Grubby, I wanted to tell you, since you're a man of your word, I don't want a refund for the game. Yeah, I said buy the game and then a week later, if you don't like it, I'll pay you $10, right? And you don't want the refund, so you've enjoyed it enough. One more thing, is the recommended position button any good? Or is it niche from pro players how they position their units? Both. It can be niche, but the longer time goes on in the new season, the more likely it's going to be relevant. I would say that if you're losing a lot of games, just clicking the recommended formation is probably going to increase your results. And then as you watch it, you will do better and better. I would use it. I used it. Let's see. Elite Tarantula, Laser Sight, Subsidized Arclight. Interesting. Subsidized Arclight is very interesting. We already have some of them. They have a bit of XP. We could go carry Arclight. But we are Giant Specialist, so we shouldn't. But we could. Or we go Laser Sights on a fort. Probably makes more sense. Boring, but effective. We'll go for 3 fangs. Where do we make them? Fort is gonna be here. Or a Vulcan. It's gonna be here. Vertical or horizontal? 4, 5, 6, 7, bum. Okay, and then one from the middle, eventually. And we saved the laser sights for the fort next round. He decided to add arc lights. Have you seen and tried any one-side start strats? Had one guy put everything on one hill while I split it, kick my ass. Yeah, I've done that a lot. I've practiced it. I've practiced that a lot. I was really bad at defending and attacking with it, but I got better. Though I would still say it's a less comfortable style for me. It requires a lot more knowledge. It's easy to mess up frontal and flank plays. For instance, I did that once with crawlers, like crawler 1, crawler 2, crawler 3, ball, crawler 4, crawler 5. Then the enemy got like a Vulcan or something, and I'm like, I don't know how I make all my crawlers not walk right into him. And it sucked. And then there's no more recourse, like you're pretty much committed to that. So it's very important to do the correct thing many rounds in a row, like the first 3 rounds, if you face that. The second, the third, and the fourth. Okay, unit drops. We're both being offered the same thing. I currently have only Fangs for anti-air, so he could get some benefits with a level 2 Wraith. Wraith can get killed by a Farseer, so it's not as attractive for me. Typhoon looks pretty good to me. Sturdy enough not to easily die to Farseer, and very good at killing many of his small things. And Sabretooth also looks pretty good. But I kind of like Typhoons here. It also can kind of deal with the Wraith. Let's do Typhoon. We could also put the range on the Typhoon. They have no other way of getting bonus range. So let's do that. Where do we place them? So far he has a more reinforced left side, so we can defend into that. Typhoons are a lot faster than Fangs, so they should stand a little bit back. Yeah, we don't do that. Thank you, Exka. I'm still gonna get a fort as planned. No space for Vulcan here. If I do this, I mispositioned my units by 1 slot. Could do Vulcan in front, fort coming up from behind. I fear he'll be late. Let's just do another Fang. He went for ranged arc lights. Did he get subsidized? Okay, so he has subsidized arcs, and he chose the triple Sabretooth. I think this round will be tough. We're definitely gonna lose the right side. He's got too much tankiness there. One of our Typhoons focus Sabretooth, which is bad, because he won't kill it fast enough, and then he won't be taking out the chaff. And then the fort is now clearing chaff. So we're gonna lose this round pretty hard, I think. What will be nice is if we get Typhoon missiles. Since Typhoon looks at Sabretooth, missile will help. Yeah, he's just much better on both chaff, mid-tier stuff, and chaff clear. He's carrying the hell out of me with arc lights. Oh, smart marksman. Well, I've got none yet, so that's pretty tough. Now let's go Amp Core. I wish I could put that on Typhoon instead of the range. We'll get 2 more Typhoons. And I would need to borrow to get homing missile. Maybe I'll just sell the fort again. It did nothing. We can make it again later. We'll do an unlock and melter. We get homing missile. Put these here. Is that the same height? I guess they should be a little closer because no range. This one over here. And then I could put Amp Core, I guess, on one of the Typhoons. Do I want level ups on my arc lights? They'll have 8,000 health, which will survive 1 Sabretooth shot. Doesn't feel that valuable. Let's level up the Stormcallers instead. I think it's more valuable. I could do 1 level. Alright, let's do 1 level up. Okay, are Typhoons worth when going into Sabres? Well, not really, but I already picked it. And now I'm basically experimenting to see if homing missile will be enough reason for them to be able to work against Sabretooth. Now, he did do something weird. He went for Elite Marksman, but it's because he picked Smart Marksman. So he's already totally... See how good the missiles are? Holy shit. Did a lot of damage. The missiles were great. Here's the next missiles. Bam. Alright. Okay, experiment. Science experiment success. Now, are we still losing? Absolutely. We need more Typhoons. We're gonna need more missiles. And every time we lose against Marksman, he gets loads of XP because of the Smart Marksman. Actually, are we losing? Ah, he kills the tower, which means Farseer will clean up, right? Yeah. Oh, it's very close. Actually, we have a small chance? No. Okay, he won by 1 Marksman. We take only 100 damage. Okay, we can go for a Wasp Swarm. Absorption Module. Steel Ball Production Line. Steel Ball Production Line is not that bad. I am a giant. We don't need a Vulcan yet. We could get a fort again. Overlord, not so good. I think it's better just to spam Typhoons actually. So I want to have 950 to make 3 Typhoons, which means I'm allowed to spend 50 at max. So it's perfectly aligned with Wasp Swarm. We need more missiles, basically. Alright. We'll do that. And then the Wasp Swarm. Where is his anti-air the weakest? Put it over here for now. And this will also defend against Wasp Swarms from him. Typhoons with shield maybe. I wanted maximum deployments for now. I could definitely get barriers. So the question, the thing that barriers are good against are against large splash damage that is low in damage. So say for instance Sledgehammer, Arclight, they do low damage, a lot of splash. So barrier's amazing. But Sabertooth do a little splash but a lot of single target. So it's not as good against them. So he got Missile Interceptor. He feels like Stormcallers have been pretty impactful. And I'm very happy with that because those are my starter Stormcallers. He doesn't like me having Stormcallers. And he made a whole upgrade for that. That doesn't mean I have to sell them, by the way. Those Sabertooths will die and my Stormcallers will keep fighting. By the way, Typhoons are very sensitive to levels and upgrades. He currently has 1 attack upgrade, 0 armor. I have 0/0. So if I want my Typhoons to be more effective, then getting some upgrades could be really helpful. Basically, the reason I didn't is because I wanted to maximize Typhoon deployment every single round. So next round, I'm gonna have 1200 money. And so, we lost again because we lost the tower. Very close loss again. It's not that big of a deal. He gets a lot of marksman level ups.
Subbing for this sweet mecha content.
Yo, thanks, Silver Fate. Does the opponent have Arc AA? He does not, and it's also... Yeah, he does not, because he has Arc Light carry set up. Okay, so we could either do Rhino and sell it, or we could do a Sandworm and keep it. I actually feel like Sandworm is incredibly powerful here, if I use it well. And that's the main problem. I don't tend to use it that well. Anti-missile works against Typhoon missiles. Oh, I suppose it does. Yeah, maybe. I think Scorpion is good and Sandworm is good. Even Rhino ain't that bad against level 1 Sabertooths. Khalid wanted Snake. Yeah, okay, for Khalid. Let's go for a Sandworm. Increases HP by 50% and blocks 60 when attacked. Or heal when burrowing. Do we get barrier tech? I prefer to get mechanical rage on Typhoons. I'm not gonna level up a unit I only have 1 of. Movement speed up, attack damage by 50%. It's pretty nice. Then we get 2 more Typhoons. Get some late Foons as well. So this worm can still always be sold. he just did a bunch of level ups. He got 1 armor upgrade. He also chose the worm. And he didn't get any upgrades. So it was just level ups and upgrades. And then he chose the steel ball production line on the sandworm. He's killing our sandworm a lot faster than we're killing his. Looks very bad for us. Damn. Oh, we're losing this. And my typhoons are not getting enough level ups. Yikes. How are we gonna do this? Melter next? Melter could be good. We lost a lot harder this round. And one more like this and we're dead. We need something that solves 4 problems simultaneously now. EMP can help. Smoke bomb can help. Let's do EMP. Try to block against smoke. You turned off the streamer badge? No, I didn't. It's hidden underneath the emote. Let me think. I think scorpions is not that bad of an idea. I also want typhoon level ups, such as I have them. Or maybe more chaff. We'll get 1 melter. Did this almost nothing. We'll get temporary range. Probably start borrowing. Okay, he did not protect against the EMP, which is nice. We just went 2 attack upgrades, 1 armor. And we made 1 more chaff. It somehow feels like an unsatisfactory response. My typhoons are also taking too many big hits. Melter immediately value. I think we still lose. I think we need more chaff in front of the typhoons. Like crawlers and fangs. Or sledges. I somehow still see a loss happening here. We don't have enough to kill the rest of what he has. We may not lose this round, or we may lose this round in fact. Yeah, we do lose this round. Damn. I think it's over. GG. Once I got mechanical rage on typhoons, they actually were too far ahead because they got the 4 movement speed. That was a nice try, trying to levy the value of typhoons, but I tried to have them do 4 different jobs and it didn't work. And then he kept leveling on marksmen and arcs.